Hey, we're gonna chat and draw today. Nice and relaxy like. So what are we doing here? I've basically taken a gesture sketch and decided to turn it into a fuller drawing. I really liked doing this. It was a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to try and do one of these at the end of each week. It's funny, my younger online self often bounced between fashion and fantasy as drawing subjects, and fairies were a big part of that. Yes, I was in a fairy community about art. We'll talk about that later. No, we won't. I wanted to do something mindless to just draw without gathering reference or obsessing or masterpiecing or any of that. And I decided to throw back to my baby art days and draw a fairy. I really needed to unwind and do something a bit easier. The last video basically killed me. I did not anticipate how difficult a visual style tutorial would be. I mean, I knew it was going to be a lot of work, but this was just beyond what I expected. I ended up filming it twice because I realized I was being a bit ham and meme-ish for a tutorial, and I needed to edit it better so that what I was talking about actually matched what was on screen. This was extremely tedious. It's hard to find a workflow when you're doing voiceover of an OBS screen footage, but I got there in the end. The second round was a lot better, and I shaved a couple minutes off it, so that's a bonus. Anyway, if you're new here, I'm Natasha. My brand is Stellar Elite, as you can probably tell, which is a universe of characters and places I'm making up for reasons. I actually want to do comic books. I'm building this channel to be a variety of art content, from chat and draws like this to how-tos and showing my process, doing vlog style stuff, all centered around mashing art and world building together as far as niches go. They cross over quite a lot actually, which is awesome. So on that note, I wanted to actually talk about studying fundamentals of art today. I feel like they're almost dirty words because of how much we all avoid it. It's no secret that all artists struggle at some point to choose studying fundamentals over just doing what you want to do. I've mostly chosen the path of doing what I want to do and then just brute forcing my way through problems like foreshortening or perspective or whatever. And I'm realizing lately that I just am having a really hard time finishing any project. And I think a lot of it has to do with my brain and ideas being ahead of my skills, sort of. Like, I know I have the capacity to do the things, but sometimes it just feels like this enormous hurdle. And when I can't see the other side, I get frustrated and sometimes give up. It's like really annoying, and I have so many work in progresses or whips as a result of this. Just huge high concept ideas that are sitting there like, draw me, come on, and I'm like, ah. Anyways, that's kind of one of the underlying reasons why I decided to do an art study schedule, to do Mark Bernay's 1-year art challenge thing. It's because I just wanted to, it's not just because I wanted to get better at characters and environments so I can make comics, but it's also just that I want to be more comfortable doing the things I want to do, like get that mileage and get better. So I think, I'm at this weird intermediate stage where I can mostly get my ideas out, but it's a frustrating slog, and I just want to get over that hurdle. So my first week of art study actually went pretty well. I did everything I wanted to every day. I managed to fit everything in, which was basically some gesture drawing, some perspective, and then doing a study of my favorite artists for the week. This is kind of how I've made my own schedule. It's working. I think the secret to this success might be to actually just do a little bit every day. I've heard a few people talk about this, and I mean precious few. I don't think enough people talk about this, but I think it might be difficult for humans to imagine this as a workable plan. I don't know why. We tend to want to dedicate like a whole day or several hours and just vibe, but that's not generally how our lives work as adults when adulting. I know, gross. It's unrealistic to wait for that 6-hour window. Doing a little bit at a time really, really works and feels like you're getting somewhere, like chipping away at a solution to a problem, and you see results. Obviously, results will vary for everyone, but even for myself, within a week, I found myself way more comfortable doing gestures than I was at the beginning. I will credit Proko's CSI curve technique for that as well. I swear something just clicked finally, and I could just do the gestures the way I wanted them to look without trying to add contours everywhere and make it outlined. I was very excited to figure out that secret. So now I'm an advocate for chipping away and studying fundamentals over time and improving, rather than waiting for that long chunk of time to study. The other fun upside of this is I expect I'll have a ton of content when I'm done the year. I also like the idea of breaking up your study into chunks of different things. Like I've carved out 2 hours a day, but I break them down into further topics. I do like 30 minutes of gestures, 30 minutes of drawing boxes and other shapes in 1 and 2 point perspective, and then I leave an hour to do a study of my favorite artist. This basically saves the best part for last since you're actually drawing a thing instead of lines and boxes and whatever. I find this works better for me than doing all gestures for like 2 hours or whatever and getting bored AF. I also time myself, which may seem a little extreme, but this is how I stay on schedule with my day. So it's nice to hear that little alarm bell ding, like, oop, time for boxes, and just switching it up. Mashing all these ideas together with a drawing at the end of the week is like a really good way to put what I'm learning into practice. I'll definitely keep doing this. I can already feel that I'm looser and more confident when referencing a pose and getting good gesture, which is really exciting. That's what I've always wanted. I can't wait to feel that way about drawing a room or a landscape though. While I have to admit it's nice to be able to set up perspectives in any way I want now and have it make sense, I just feel like I need a little bit more of a challenge beyond the boxes with that, so maybe I should jump ahead and do a room, or maybe I will switch it up to a sketchbook and do it traditionally. That'll really be a challenge, I think. When you're doing it digitally, it's just really easy because you're using all the tools that Photoshop gives you to do straight lines and so on. So I think doing it traditionally might be a bit of fun. I'll probably do that with gestures and studies here and there as well. I keep meaning to use my sketchbook more anyway. So that's basically it on the study front. I was just excited about a successful week and felt like doing a little chat vibe and dish. Let me know, do you struggle finding time to do studies? Do you have any hacks that you use to trick yourself into studying? Or are you a brute forcer? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your methods. So if you're into art and world building talk, maybe consider liking and subscribing. Or if you're into like a slower, relaxing read, maybe check out my blog. Link is in the description. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!